Well, hello, this is Station 5. This is where we're going to review parallel lines cut by a transversal. Remember, you have two choices. You can either add up to 180 or they're going to be equal to each other. And so there are special types of angles that are formed from parallel lines cut by a transversal. If you need extra help with this, you can look it up online. You can look it up on iExcel. There's lots of resources available for this. The best strategy that I know of is I like to do XO, XO, XO. And so I start the upper left corner, and every angle I label going in a loop, okay? And so if you have two O's, like in this indicated instance, 121 is going to be equal to the other O angle. So 121 is equal to 121. You can also see that this one kind of looks larger than 90 degrees, and down here this one's also larger than 90 degrees. You can say that. These are what we call alternate interior angles because they're on the inside. Number 3 we would call alternate exterior because they're on the outside of the parallel lines. And again, you can use the same strategy throughout for this. Let's move on to number 5. That's asking a different question. So for number 5, we've got to solve for x. And again, we're going to either set them equal to 180 or set them equal to each other. Those are our choices. So you can either do blank plus blank equals 180 or blank equals blank. Those are your two choices. So first you have to find out the relationship between the two angles. If I do my XO strategy, I see that this is an O and this is an O. So I'm going to set them equal to each other. So x plus 65 equals 55. And I subtract 65 from both sides. It's okay if x is equal to negative 10, because in this case it is. And these again are alternate exterior angles, and they're always congruent. Alright, so you're going to solve the rest of the problems like that until we get on the back. I want to look at numbers 9 and 10. So it says find the measure of the angle indicated in bold. So the angles you need to find are this one. That might be this one here. This one here, and this one. All right. So again, you solve this the same exact way as you would. I'm going to use the XO strategy. Okay. And as I can see here, make sure you put your X's and O's in the right spot. These are both X angles, so they're going to be congruent to each other. So 16x minus 2 equals 14x plus 12. So step 1 is I'm going to actually solve for the two angles. And then step 2, you're going to plug them in. But I'm going to do this one together. So that's the setup for number 9. This is XO, 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 XO. And as you can see here, we've got an X and an O. So this is one where you're going to do 5x plus 15 plus 14x minus 6 equals 180. And when you work it all out, you get 19x plus 9 equals 180. Subtract the 9, divide by 19, and x equals 9. That's step 1. So step 2, you actually have to plug this in to 5 times 9 plus 15. And when you actually plug it into the equation, you end up with 60 degrees. So this angle here is 60 degrees. And I believe that's it. The rest are asking you to do the same work. It's just a different way that they're indicating the question. So it says, find the measure of the angle that makes U and V parallel. Well, in order for these two lines to be parallel, alternate interior angles have to be congruent. So if this is 85, this has to be 85 degrees. If it's not, then you're not looking at parallel lines. And so like down here, these two angles here would have to be supplementary. So 2x plus 200 has to equal 180 degrees. Otherwise, you don't have parallel lines, so on and so forth. All right, well, good luck with this, studying about parallel lines cut by a transversal. And once you finish, you can check your answers and then move on to the next station.